Hello everyone, thank you for coming. Hi Indigo Azul. Indigo Azul. So nice to see you. Morning Nancy. Jolofu, hello. Hello David. So why don't we just start? Supriya, so nice to see you. Hi Nancy, nice to see you. I'm so glad you're here. So let's just start by Catherine, Frenzy, thank you for being here. Let's start by just relaxing. We're going to meditate some, but also contemplate, hi Maria, contemplate what the purpose of meditation is. I think it's an important thing to think about because the more clear you are about what the purpose of meditation is, the easier it will be for you to actually meditate. Okay, Catherine, please do rejoin, and I'm assuming the rest of you are hearing me. And that it's her, not me. One very simple way that I have, hi Supriya, of understanding what the purpose of meditation is, great, is that it's a way for us to learn how to be comfortable with being human. And I want you to think about this for a minute. This human form that we are currently in is not the only form. Hi, D. Frank. We have experienced other forms. We will experience other forms. We arrived here and found ourselves to be in this form, human form. Imagine the shock. Oh my God. How did I get here? What do I do here? What's the point? I am absolutely sure that most of you, if not all of you, can relate to that. Hey, can relate to the fact that at some deep existential level, right? The level of existence, the level of just being here, there's profound questions that exist for you, which is probably why you started on a spiritual search in the first place. Oops, sorry about that. Why are we here? What's the point of this human life? How do we deal with, hey Sue, how do we deal with being human? You know, we come here from our beyond human realms, and then we're here, boom, born. And then we start going, oh my God, okay, what do I do? How does this work? And then we start seeing other people who are here in human form, and we're wondering, how do we get along together? And those of us who end up on a spiritual path have some suspicion from very early on, usually, that this is only part of who we are, and definitely not the entirety of who we are. And most of us, I know this is true of me, and I'll bet it was true for most of you, find ourselves being somewhat uncomfortable with being human. As a very young person, I was quite uncomfortable with being human, being in this human form. I didn't understand what the point was. No one seemed to be able to tell me in any way that I could relate to what the point was. The things that people told me were important didn't seem that important to me. Most of the people I met didn't seem to be nearly as concerned as I was about figuring this out. Most people seem to be going along with kind of the dominant script, and I just found it very difficult to do that. Hi, Susan. Before we can authentically find answers to these existential questions, we have to find a way to be comfortable with being here. We have to learn to rest in our human form. So the most common misperception about meditation is that meditation is supposed to make things better. And by things, I mean things out there, circumstances or qualities of ourselves. Thank you for joining. We are under the impression that somehow meditation is going to make things better. It's going to make our inner experience better. It's going to make our circumstances better. And to some extent, that's true down the line. But what meditation is really about is learning to be comfortable with being human. Meditation is not about quieting your mind. Meditation is about learning how to be comfortable, even though your mind is not quiet. That is a much more valuable skill. Hello, Snow White. I've been spending a little time looking at some of the ways that meditation is being shared. Oh, so happy to have you here. Is being shared on Instagram, and there's an Instagram called Relax Now, who shares very powerfully and beautifully about meditation, and exactly in this context of learning to be okay with the way things are, not trying to make them better. Meditation is not about trying to make things better. It's about learning to be okay with the way things are. And that's an important distinction. And Relax Now, you can probably find him in my stream, or you can look him up. Barrett, I think, is his name. He writes beautifully about it. He and I connected and we spoke, and on November 7th at this time, we're going to stream together, which will be fun. And more recently, I saw a post by I forgot her name now. It's Dr. Nikki. I don't remember. I love that too. It can be fun to be here. It's not always fun to be here, but it can be fun. And her post, Dr. Nikki's post, said something about meditation is not about making your mind stop. Jeff Carreira, hello. Meditation is not about making your mind stop. It's natural for minds to have thoughts, was what she said, which I said, well, that's a very important statement. We think we want our minds to stop. And I get it. We want to experience the peace and serenity of an empty mind. But, realistically, we want our minds to work. It's very important that you have a working mind in terms of living. And this was Dr. Nikki's point. So there is a lot of good information about meditation out there. But it is also a common misperception that meditation is about finding inner peace. Now, meditation is about finding inner peace, but it's not about making your inner experience peaceful. It's about you being peaceful no matter what your inner experience is. Huge difference there. So when we sit, which I'm going to suggest that we do right now, and we're meditating, all we're doing is being content with the way things are. We're learning to be content. So just sit quietly. And no matter what happens, be content with that. And contentment doesn't mean feeling happy about it. That's one of the things that people can sometimes get caught up in meditation, is they try to generate a feeling of being happy. This is not about a feeling of being happy. This is about being content with the way things are, even if you're unhappy. Being content with being unhappy. It is much more valuable. It's a much more valuable skill. It's a much more valuable capacity to be able to be content with the way things are. Because if you can be content with the way things are, no matter how they are, you don't need to try to control things anymore. You don't need to try to make things the way you like it. You don't need to try to change things so that you can be happy, because you're content. You're content even if you're unhappy. That is such a powerful position to live from. If I had the magic power of being able to share something with everyone in the world, I would share the capacity to be content with the way things are. Can you imagine what the world would be like if everybody was capable of being content with the way things are? no matter how they are? Now, that doesn't mean that they won't want things to change and they won't want to make effort to change things. But it means that fundamentally they're okay, even if they want things to change, even if there are things that they want to improve. They're okay with that. They're okay with wanting things to be better. They're okay with making the effort to make things better. They're okay that things are not the way they want them to be already. Being content means being relaxed. Hello, Freezub. Thank you for being here. It means being relaxed. The inner experience of contentment and the outer experience of relaxation are exactly the same thing. That's what it means to be content. Being content does not mean feeling happy. Contentment is relaxation. It's calm. It's peace. When you're content, when you're okay, you're calm, you're peaceful, you're relaxed. Contentment is relaxation, and relaxation is contentment. Contentment is the word we use for the inner experience, and relaxation is the word we tend to use for the more external experience. But they are the same thing. They're flip sides of a coin. Right? They're opposite sides of a piece of paper. If you have a piece of paper, it has two sides. You literally cannot remove one side from the other. Hello, potent vibes. You can't remove one side of a piece of paper. You can't have a one-sided piece of paper. If you have a piece of paper, it will have two sides. The two sides of a piece of paper are one thing. So the same is true of contentment and relaxation. They're two sides of one thing. So in meditation, if we are practicing contentment, that means we're practicing relaxation. Hi there, I am doing really well, potent vibes. How are you doing? Thank you for coming. So just allow yourself to relax. Okay, Frank. Thank you for being here. I stream meditation in an app called Kick regularly. That's where Frank met me. I'm glad you're doing well. And Lake Country Girl, you requested to be in my live video. Is that true? So just keep relaxing. understand. It's usually a mistake. That's why I usually ignore them. I also ignore them because I don't actually know how to end the engagement once it starts. Oh, Michelle's. This is a very nice surprise. Speaking of friends that I have met, in other apps, I think Michelle's is one of those. Mitchell's. So yes, we're just relaxing, not trying to control anything. And whatever comes up is going to come up. Maybe anxiety arises for you. Maybe bliss arises. Boredom, frustration. You don't necessarily get to choose what arises. You just be content with all of it. And then watch how it unfolds. It's fascinating. Wow. Look and see what it's like to be human. Look at the human experience in you. Look how thoughts arise, and those thoughts trigger feelings, and those feelings trigger other thoughts, and those thoughts trigger other feelings, and some feelings trigger even more feelings, and even more thoughts, and thoughts trigger, and it's just, they call it in Buddhism dependent origination, which basically means everything is being caused by the thing before. It's like an ongoing mind is an ongoing chain reaction. I blame Greenfield. Everything that occurs in mind results in something else occurring in mind. That's dependent origination. It's an unending flow. The stream of consciousness is an unending flow of one thing leading to the next thing, and to the next thing, and to the next thing. And when you're meditating, all you're doing is being comfortable and content with the flow of mind, with the stream of consciousness, with the unending chain reaction of dependent origination, of one thing leading to the next. And one of the first things you learn, you discover in meditation, is that it's all just happening. You used to think that you were the one thinking and you were the one feeling, but now you realize that thoughts get triggered, feelings get triggered. It's not you doing the thinking, it's not you generating the feelings. It's all happening. It's like one big ongoing chain reaction, one big ongoing interdependent event. Mind. Like dominoes, You line up dominoes. I don't know if people play with dominoes anymore, but you line up the dominoes and one hits the next one, and one hits the next one, and one hits the next one. Rainbow Warrior, so nice to see you. And it's a chain reaction. This one hits that one, that knocks that one down, and then that hits the next one, and then the next one. And if you make a long line of dominoes that winds all around, and you do it very carefully, you can hit the first one, and that's what your mind is. One thought leads to another thought, or to a feeling, and feelings lead to other thoughts and other feelings. Yes, it is just vibrational energy. Everything's just vibrational energy that we are labeling. And so when we sit in meditation, we just watch the dominoes fall. One thought leading to the next, leading to the feeling, leading to the thought, leading to the feeling, leading to the other feeling, leading to another thought and another thought and another feeling. And you just watch them. And you get comfortable with the fact that that's what's happening. You get very, very comfortable. You get so comfortable with the movement of thought and feeling because you realize, oh, that has nothing, that's not me. It's not about me, that's just thought and feeling. And you just watch and see, wow, this is just the way it is to be human. This is what happens when you're human. This is what happens when you arrive from wherever we arrived from, whatever form we were in before this life, and then suddenly we're here, boom, and now we're human. And we're, whoa, what's going on? Well, a big part of what's going on is thought and feeling is being generated. And you get very, very comfortable with thought and feeling. It becomes very, very obvious that none of it has to do with you. So just sit now. And be aware of whatever thoughts and feelings are arising in mind. Don't do anything with them. You don't even have to pay attention to what they're saying. You don't come to the place of realizing that thought and feeling is all vibrational energy until you stop paying attention to what they're saying. But initially, you just have to relax, even if they're saying stuff. Just let them say whatever they want to say. Don't get concerned about it. None of it matters. I mean, literally none of it matters. You're sitting here. We're sitting for a few minutes together. Thoughts and feelings are going to arise. None of it really matters because you're just going to sit here for the next few minutes. So there's really nothing you need to do except sit. Sit and be comfortable and content. And I guess in response to what Sue said, I don't know if I would want to say that it's vibrational energy that we are labeling. Ultimately, it's vibrational energy that's being labeled by a habit of labeling. We're not actually doing the labeling either. It's all just happening. It's all part of the unfolding habits of mind. So who are you when you're not the one thinking and feeling? Who are you when you are simply resting? Absolutely, like country girl. Who are you? It's perfect. That's a perfect question because that's exactly where we're headed with my question, which is, who are you? when you are not the one thinking and feeling. In the early stages of meditation, you are the one meditating. You are the one who is being content. You are the one who was thinking and feeling, who is now just being content while they watch thought and feeling. You are now the resting one versus the acting one. You see? But in those early stages of meditation, you still feel human. You still feel like a human being meditating. A human being relaxing and getting comfortable with the experience of being human. And for a lot of people, that's as far as they want their meditation practice to go. And the benefits of that level of practice are enormous. If you can come to the place where you can sit and consciously choose to be comfortable with the experience of being human, that will be a game-changing attainment for you in life. You are now a human being who can be content and comfortable and okay with the way things are, no matter how they are. If you think about it, you will realize that that is a person you want to be with. Imagine you're in an emergency. Who do you want to be sitting next to or standing next to? Do you want to be next to the person who's freaking out? Who's totally overwhelmed with fear? Or do you want to be the person who seems calm? Who's, not negatively detached, but is able to look at the situation from a place of clarity? Of course you want to be with that person. Human life, is punctuated by emergencies of all different sizes. Each of us constantly are having emergencies. We want to be able to be okay. We want to be able to maintain clarity and perspective, even under emergency situations. So becoming a human being who is comfortable with being human is incredible. But some of us feel compelled to go beyond that. And that's what Lake Country Girls question. Can you speak about the authentic self? Now, to me, this is just my way of thinking. Take it or leave it. To me, the person we were, the being we were, whatever we were, before we were born into this human life, is where we will return when this life comes to an end. This life, this human birth, is a real... Oh my God, is that Erin Aquin? Thank you so much for coming, Erin. This human life is a very real aspect of who we are. But it's not where we started. I love you too, Erin. Erin is one of the most wonderful people I know. So if you aren't already following her here on Instagram, now would be a great time to start. This human life is not where we started. We weren't born on our birthday. It's a very popular misconception that we were born on our birthday. We existed long before we took a human birth. And whatever form we were in then is what we will return to when this human existence comes to an end. And we are still that now. That eternal part of us, that part that in some traditions is called the soul, at some depth of our being, we are that right now. And that is what is animating this human birth, this human life, this human existence. And this human existence is very real and very important and very valuable and should be cherished and cared for. It's a miracle that we've been given a human birth to experience all the things that you can experience being human. But we are more than this. And I don't like to use the term authentic self because that implies that, so if I were going to call that soul, that eternal part of us, if I was going to call that the authentic self, which I think some people would, calling it the authentic self implies that this Jeff manifestation is somehow inauthentic. And it's not inauthentic. I am Jeff also. What's inauthentic is the belief that I am only Jeff. Because I'm not only Jeff. I'm Jeff plus. There's more to me than this. So I'm hesitant to use the language of the authentic self because it implies that some other part of me, and particularly this part, the part here that's talking to you, is somehow inauthentic, and that doesn't feel right to me. But most importantly, what I want you to do right now is allow yourself to become aware that this consciousness, this aspect of us that animates, if I didn't have it, then you'd just be looking at a lifeless body. But life, hi Danik NL. Does that mean Netherlands? Without that soul energy, without that life force energy passing through us, passing into this body, it would be lifeless. So there is the human birth, right? This is the physical realm. This is the realm of the physical. We're all here right now. Everybody here is in the middle of a human birth, a physical human birth in a body that has this physical structure. We are also a soul. We are a personal, non-material, eternal energy. My soul is unique to me. Your soul is unique to you. You know, when you meet a soulmate, many of you who come to see me are soulmates, feel like soulmates. Erin certainly feels like a soulmate. You meet and you just know you've known this person before. You know this person beyond this life. But then there's the human, and then there's the soul, and then there's the absolute. That's right, Erin. Absolutely true. Then there's the absolute. There's life itself. It's where all the uniqueness vanishes, and there's just oneness. And we are all also that. And that's where you meet. And when you experience that, you experience everyone is me, and I am everyone. There's no difference. The energy that's coming through me is exactly the same as the energy that's coming through you. There's only one of us. So this is a very traditional distinction. There's the physical realm, and then the soul or subtle realm, and then the oneness, unity, causal realm. Three aspects of who we are, and we are all of those. And they're all important. So just for the last couple of minutes of this stream, just take a moment to allow yourself to become aware of the fullness of your being. You know, if I wanted to use the term authentic self, I would want it to include all of those. I wouldn't want it to be associated with any particular one of those realms. I'd want our authentic self includes all the aspects of who we are. The personal, physical manifest, the personal immaterial soul, and the absolute oneness of life itself. We are all of those things. All at the same time. All right now. Okay, my friends, thank you so much for being here. I come every Sunday at noon, Eastern Time, US, to share meditation with you. And I deeply appreciate the fact that you come to share it with me. I love you all, and I thank you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you again. Erin, do you do lives? Do you do Instagram lives? Oh, what up, Buttercup? I'm just finishing, my dear Lexi. just saying goodbye. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Blaine. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, everyone. Hello, Lexi. Sometimes. Well, I definitely want to see yours, Erin, so please let me know when you're doing one. Maria, thank you. Catherine, so beautiful to have you all. You didn't totally miss it, Lexi. You came in right now. Thank you, Lake Country Girl. Thank you so much. Love you too, Lexi. Thank you, Anjin Kara. All right, everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye now.